Look, life isn't handing you anything you can't handle. If you're tired of where you're at, then it's time to look in the mirror and start owning up to it. Yeah, you're going to face things that make you uncomfortable. You're going to confront parts of yourself you'd rather hide. But that's where the magic happens, right in the heart of discomfort. Growth lies there. Accountability starts with you. Accountability starts with you means realizing deep down that every aspect of your life, from where you stand today to the struggles you're facing, is directly tied to the choices you've made, the actions you've taken, and yes, the inaction you may have let slide by. It's about understanding that no one is ultimately responsible for your situation but you. No one else has the power to shape your life like you do. Sure, life throws unexpected situations and tough challenges at you, but how you respond to them, that's all on you. It's the ability to look at yourself in the mirror and understand that the person staring back is the one who holds the key to every change you're seeking, to every goal you dream about, to every opportunity you've missed, and to every success you desire. When you truly embody accountability, you stop letting outside factors or other people define the trajectory of your life. Being accountable means no more hiding behind excuses, no more looking for reasons outside of yourself to explain why things haven't turned out the way you hoped. It's easy to blame circumstances, to point fingers at your past, or even to feel like life has been unfair. And maybe it has been. But letting yourself believe that external factors are the sole reason for your situation only serves to keep you stuck, powerless, and frustrated. Because every time you put the blame outside of yourself, you're letting go of control. Real accountability is about pulling all of that control back into your hands, standing firm and accepting that your actions, thoughts, and responses have shaped your journey up to this point. It's understanding that you, more than anyone else, have the power to redirect that journey from here forward. And to be truly accountable, you have to confront every choice you make, every behavior, every thought pattern, and ask yourself if it's moving you closer to where you want to be, or if it's just a way to distract yourself or stay comfortable. Accountability isn't just a single action or choice, it's a daily practice, a continuous effort to assess yourself and demand more from yourself. When you own your life, you start to recognize that even the setbacks, even the failures are part of the process, but there are also things you can learn from if you're willing to face them without justifying or rationalizing them away. It's a willingness to see that nothing can truly change unless you do. Owning your actions means you're no longer dependent on others to create the change you want to see. You're no longer waiting for a moment of luck or a change in circumstance. You become someone who decides that regardless of how difficult the road is, it's still your road to walk. And that means if something isn't working, if you're stuck, if you're not where you want to be, you don't look for someone to blame. You look at yourself and ask what you need to do differently. You ask how you can take charge, how you can learn and grow, and how you can get the results you're after without waiting for the world around you to change. It's a sense of ownership so complete that even on your worst days, even when you feel lost, you know that every bit of progress, every win, and every improvement comes from your own decision to keep pushing forward, to keep stepping up, to keep trying. Accountability isn't just accepting where you are, it's committing to where you want to go, knowing full well that the person who's going to get you there is the one you see every time you look in the mirror. Face your weaknesses. Facing your weaknesses means having the courage to look directly at the areas in your life that you know are holding you back, the parts of yourself that you avoid confronting. It's about bringing into full view the places where you're falling short and acknowledging that those weaknesses, those flaws are real, even if they're uncomfortable to admit. Facing your weaknesses is hard because it requires honesty. It requires stepping away from the image you've crafted of yourself and admitting that there are things you need to work on. It's easier to ignore these areas, to focus on what you're good at, and to avoid the things that make you feel inadequate or unsure of yourself. But ignoring your weaknesses doesn't make them disappear. In fact, it allows them to grow stronger, to take up more space, and to continue impacting your life in ways you may not even realize. Facing your weaknesses forces you to step outside of your comfort zone because it requires confronting the things you'd rather hide. You have to be willing to strip away your ego, to set aside the need to look or feel strong, and to recognize that there are parts of you that need work. Maybe it's a lack of discipline. Maybe it's fear of failure, maybe it's a tendency to procrastinate, or maybe it's insecurity. Whatever it is, until you face it head on, it's going to control you. Your weaknesses are like shadows, they follow you around even when you try to ignore them. and they have a way of showing up at the most inconvenient times, affecting your choices, your relationships, your progress, and your sense of self. When you face your weaknesses, you put yourself in a position to grow, to improve, and to become stronger. Weaknesses are only permanent if you avoid them. By looking directly at them, you give yourself the opportunity to learn, to adapt, and to build resilience. It's not about beating yourself up for having flaws. It's about acknowledging that these areas exist and taking deliberate steps to address them. Facing your weaknesses is about having the humility to accept that you're not perfect, that you're a work in progress, and that there's always room for improvement. It's about realizing that your potential is not limited by your weaknesses, but by your willingness to confront them and work through them. This process isn't comfortable. It's often filled with moments of frustration, self-doubt, and even embarrassment as you come face to face with the things you've been avoiding. But this discomfort is temporary, and it's a necessary step toward becoming a better, stronger version of yourself. Push beyond comfort zones. Pushing beyond comfort zones is about moving into areas of your life where you feel uneasy, where uncertainty and challenge replace familiarity and ease. It's about recognizing that growth doesn't happen where you feel safe or confident, but in the spaces where you're forced to adapt, to learn, and to stretch your limits. When you stay in your comfort zone, you're in a place where you feel in control, where things feel manageable, and where you don't have to confront any real fears or doubts. But staying there means that you're only operating at a level you're already comfortable with, which limits your potential and keeps you from experiencing true personal growth. Pushing beyond that comfort is necessary because it's only in those places of discomfort that you learn what you're truly capable of. When you push past your comfort zones, you start to realize that many of the limitations you believed in were only mental barriers, fears, and assumptions about what you could or couldn't do. Comfort zones keep you from taking risks because risks involve the chance of failure, and failure can be painful. But in pushing past your comfort zone, you learn that failure isn't the end, it's part of the process, a stepping stone to becoming stronger and wiser. Discomfort often brings up doubt and fear, making you question yourself, but those feelings are a signal that you're stepping into unknown territory, which is exactly where new skills and new confidence are built. When you resist the urge to retreat back to what's comfortable and push forward instead, you develop resilience and mental toughness that can only come from going beyond what's familiar. Moving beyond comfort zones also means embracing the challenges and difficulties that come with change. It's about understanding that each time you push yourself a little farther, you're breaking down old boundaries and setting new ones. Each time you confront a challenge that makes you feel uncertain or unprepared, you're expanding what you're capable of and making the next challenge easier to face. This process of pushing yourself doesn't necessarily get easier, but you become stronger, more equipped, and more confident each time. And as you continue to challenge yourself, you start to see that what once seemed intimidating or impossible now feels within reach because you've grown, because you've adapted, and because you've learned that discomfort is temporary and manageable. When you commit to pushing beyond your comfort zone, you start to understand that the only way to reach your full potential is to be willing to endure temporary discomfort in pursuit of lasting progress. It's not about recklessness or taking unnecessary risks. It's about systematically moving past the limits you set for yourself and proving that those limits were just illusions. Pushing beyond comfort zones becomes a way of life, a habit of facing fear, a commitment to growth, and a realization that the path to real change is always on the other side of your comfort. Consistency over intensity. Consistency over intensity is about valuing steady, repeated effort over short bursts of intense action. It means focusing on the power of small, daily actions rather than putting everything into one massive push that can't be sustained. When you prioritize consistency, you're building habits that create lasting change over time, even if the progress seems small or slow. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that bigger or more intense efforts will bring faster results. But without consistency, those bursts of effort often lead to burnout or frustration when the results don't come as quickly as expected. Choosing consistency means showing up regularly, even when motivation is low or when the work feels mundane. This steady approach creates a strong foundation because it relies on actions that are sustainable and repeatable. Each small effort builds on the one before it, creating a cumulative effect that leads to significant progress over time. Consistency requires patience and discipline, understanding that true growth and improvement come from doing the work day after day, not from trying to do everything all at once. When you focus on intensity alone, you might see a quick surge in progress, but it's often followed by setbacks because high-intensity efforts are hard to maintain. Consistency, on the other hand, builds resilience and discipline. It creates momentum that carries you forward, making the journey easier as you go because you've developed routines and habits that support your goals. Consistent effort also gives you the chance to refine your skills gradually, allowing you to make adjustments, learn from mistakes, and grow stronger over time. By choosing consistency, you're committing to a long-term approach where each day's work builds on the last, slowly but surely moving you closer to your goals. It's not glamorous or fast, but it's effective. Consistency allows you to progress steadily without overwhelming yourself, making it more likely that you'll stick with your goals until you reach them. Embrace failure as a tool. Embracing failure as a tool means recognizing that setbacks and mistakes are not just obstacles but valuable learning experiences that guide you toward growth. Failure isn't something to be feared or avoided. It's a necessary part of progress, revealing weaknesses and areas that need improvement. When you fail, it forces you to confront limitations, adjust your approach, and refine your skills in ways that wouldn't happen if everything came easily. Each failure offers insight into what went wrong, providing a clearer understanding of what needs to change or be improved. Rather than seeing failure as a stop sign, embracing it as a tool means viewing it as a stepping stone, a moment of feedback that gives you the information you need to move forward more effectively. When you embrace failure, you remove the stigma and shame that often come with it. You stop seeing it as a reflection of your worth or ability and instead start seeing it as part of the journey toward mastery. By analyzing your failures, you develop resilience and adaptability, learning to recover quickly and move forward with new knowledge. Failure teaches lessons that success can't. It pushes you to problem solve, to be resourceful, and to approach challenges from different angles. Each failure brings with it a deeper understanding of yourself, showing you how you respond under pressure, where you need to develop more grit, and where you may have overlooked important details. Using failure as a tool also means that you become more comfortable with taking risks, knowing that mistakes are not the end but part of the process. When you stop fearing failure, you open yourself up to new possibilities and opportunities that you might have avoided out of fear of getting it wrong. This mindset shift encourages you to try things outside your comfort zone, to experiment, and to push boundaries, all of which contribute to growth. Failure becomes a form of practice, a way to test your limits and expand them. Each time you fail and choose to learn from it, you're building resilience, mental toughness, and a deeper understanding of the path to success, knowing that these lessons will ultimately make you stronger and more prepared for the future. Strengthen your mindset daily. Strengthening your mindset daily means making a conscious, consistent effort to build mental resilience, focus, and positivity as part of your everyday routine. It's about understanding that just as physical fitness requires regular exercise, so does mental strength. Your mindset is like a muscle. It grows stronger through practice, challenges, and small, repeated actions. This daily strengthening involves activities that push you to confront negative thoughts, doubts, and distractions, helping you cultivate a resilient attitude that can withstand challenges. Rather than waiting until you're faced with adversity to develop mental toughness, strengthening your mindset every day ensures that you're prepared to handle difficulties when they come. Building mental strength daily requires intentional habits that reinforce positive thinking and discipline. This can include self-reflection, goal setting, practicing gratitude, and managing stress. By focusing on these practices regularly, you create a mindset that's better equipped to stay focused and positive, even when situations get tough. It's about training yourself to maintain perspective and clarity so that instead of reacting impulsively to setbacks, you approach them with calm and purpose. This daily commitment to mindset means that you're constantly working on your inner dialogue, replacing self-doubt with self-belief, and learning to reframe challenges as opportunities for growth. Strengthening your mindset also means setting aside time to challenge yourself with activities that require patience and persistence. This might involve setting small goals that push you beyond your comfort zone or learning to stay disciplined even when motivation is low. Over time, these small actions build resilience, teaching you that you're capable of handling more than you initially thought. By making this a daily practice, you develop a habit of pushing through difficulty, which becomes second nature and part of who you are. This dedication to mental growth ensures that each day you're becoming stronger, more adaptable, and more capable of facing life's challenges with confidence and determination. stop making excuses. Stopping the habit of making excuses means taking complete responsibility for your actions, decisions, and outcomes without shifting blame onto external factors. Excuses are often a way to avoid accountability, to rationalize why things aren't going as planned, or to justify why you haven't made progress. They can feel like a shield protecting you from uncomfortable truths, but in reality, excuses only hold you back by allowing you to avoid the real work needed to change. When you stop making excuses, you're no longer letting circumstances, other people, or past experiences determine your progress. Instead, you acknowledge that you have control over your responses and that your choices directly impact where you are in life. Dropping excuses forces you to confront your fears, insecurities, and areas of resistance. Often, excuses stem from a fear of failure, rejection, or judgment, but by deciding to take ownership, you face these fears directly instead of letting them rule your actions. It's about being honest with yourself and understanding that while obstacles and challenges are real, they don't have to dictate your potential. Taking responsibility shifts your focus from what you can't control to what you can do, empowering you to find solutions and push forward regardless of the difficulties you may encounter. Without excuses, you gain clarity on what truly needs to be done. You stop wasting time rationalizing or justifying your situation and start taking action toward what matters. When you're no longer looking for ways to explain away a lack of progress, you're free to put your energy into making tangible improvements. This mindset shift helps you cultivate discipline and resilience because you realize that every time you're tempted to make an excuse, you have a choice to either succumb to it or rise above it. Over time, this creates a habit of self-accountability that strengthens your determination and drive. By refusing to make excuses, you set a higher standard for yourself, committing to growth, learning, and the pursuit of your goals with full commitment and honesty. Visualize the person you want to become. Visualizing the person you want to become means creating a clear, detailed mental image of the future version of yourself that you aspire to be. It involves seeing in your mind's eye the qualities, achievements, and mindset that you desire and making that vision feel as real and vivid as possible. When you visualize, you're not just imagining success, you're mentally rehearsing the actions, behaviors, and habits that will get you there. This process helps you align your thoughts with your goals, making the path to success feel more attainable and tangible. By consistently visualizing, you reinforce the belief that you are capable of becoming the person you want to be, transforming what once felt out of reach into something within your control. Visualization isn't just about dreaming or wishing for a better future, it's about actively creating a roadmap in your mind. By seeing yourself already embodying the traits you want, whether it's confidence, discipline, or resilience, you start to train your subconscious to believe it's possible. This mental rehearsal helps to condition your mind to recognize the steps needed to reach that version of yourself. It also helps to overcome self-doubt by counteracting limiting beliefs with a strong, clear vision of who you can become. The more you visualize the person you want to be, the more influences the decisions you make and the actions you take, guiding you to act in ways that align with that vision. Visualization also serves as a reminder of your why, the reason behind your goals. By consistently imagining the person you want to become, you reinforce the importance of your aspirations and the long-term vision for your life. This can serve as a powerful motivator, especially on days when things feel hard or when the immediate challenges seem overwhelming. When you keep that vision in front of you, it becomes a constant source of inspiration, a reminder of the potential within you. It helps to align your current reality with your desired future, making each day a step toward that person you're becoming. Through this practice, you develop a greater sense of clarity, purpose, and direction, which propels you to take the necessary actions that bring you closer to your goals. Remove toxic influences. Removing toxic influences means distancing yourself from people, environments, and habits that drain your energy, hinder your growth, or keep you stuck in negative patterns. Toxic influences can come in many forms, whether it's negative people who constantly bring you down, environments that foster stress and anxiety, or habits that hold you back from being your best self. These influences often operate subtly, but over time, they erode your confidence, motivation, and mindset. They create distractions, spread doubt, and reinforce limiting beliefs, making it harder for you to focus on your goals or to believe in your potential. The more you allow toxic influences into your life, the more they shape your perspective and actions, often without you even realizing the full extent of their impact. Removing these influences requires a conscious decision to prioritize your well-being and growth. It's about recognizing the people or situations that don't serve you or align with your values and making the choice to distance yourself from them, even if it's difficult. This might mean setting boundaries with people who drain you, distancing yourself from environments that encourage negativity, or eliminating habits and behaviors that limit your potential. It also involves taking a hard look at your inner circle people who consistently feed your self-doubt, criticize your progress, or discourage your dreams. While this can be uncomfortable, especially if these people are close to you, removing toxic influences is crucial for protecting your mental and emotional health. Removing toxic influences is also about taking responsibility for the energy you allow into your life. You have the power to choose who and what you let affect your mindset and growth. By clearing away toxic influences, you create space for positivity, empowerment, and healthier relationships that support your journey. This shift allows you to cultivate an environment where your goals and dreams can flourish. It encourages you to focus on what truly matters, on the people, the actions, and the habits that align with the best version of yourself. Ultimately, removing toxic influences is an act of self-love, a commitment to your growth, and a way to ensure that your life is filled with things that uplift and inspire you rather than weigh you down. Commit to self-improvement for life. Committing to self-improvement for life means making a lifelong pledge to continually grow, evolve, and strive to be better every single day. It's the understanding that personal development doesn't have an endpoint. It's an ongoing journey that requires consistent effort, self-awareness, and the willingness to challenge yourself. This commitment is not about achieving perfection, but about making small, intentional improvements day by day that lead to profound, long-term growth. When you commit to self-improvement for life, you embrace the idea that there is always something new to learn, an area to develop, or a mindset to shift. You accept that personal growth is a process, and it doesn't stop when you reach a specific milestone or accomplishment. This mindset encourages you to continuously seek out new opportunities to expand your knowledge, refine your skills, and enhance your character. It means looking at setbacks as learning experiences, not failures, and viewing challenges as opportunities to grow rather than obstacles to avoid. Self-improvement for life requires you to remain humble, recognizing that no matter how much you accomplish, there is always more to discover about yourself and the world around you. It's about setting higher standards for yourself, striving for excellence, and refusing to settle for mediocrity. When you commit to self-improvement, you are prioritizing progress over comfort, always looking for ways to evolve and adapt. Committing to this lifelong journey also means being patient with yourself, understanding that growth takes time and effort, and there will be periods of struggle along the way. It requires resilience and the ability to keep pushing forward, even when progress feels slow or uncertain. This commitment strengthens your mindset. As you learn to embrace discipline, consistency, and accountability, you begin to see each day as an opportunity to take one more step toward becoming the best version of yourself. Self-improvement for life doesn't have an end goal. It's a continuous cycle of learning, growing, and becoming more of who you're meant to be. It's a commitment to never stop striving, to keep evolving, and to continually raise your own standards so that you can become the person you've always wanted to be. In conclusion, the journey to personal growth and success is a continuous process, one that requires commitment, consistency, and a willingness to push past limitations. From facing your weaknesses to removing toxic influences, and from embracing failure as a tool to visualizing the person you want to become, each step plays a crucial role in shaping the future version of yourself. Remember, progress is built on daily effort, and it's the small, consistent actions that ultimately lead to the transformation you seek. As you move forward, commit to improving yourself every day, knowing that each challenge and setback is simply a stepping stone towards your greater purpose. Good luck on your journey. Stay committed, stay focused, and know that you have everything within you to become the person you aspire to be. Thank you for taking the time to listen and for choosing to invest in yourself. Your future is bright, keep pushing, and never stop growing.